Hello, everyone. Thank you for your interest in joining the Homeless Heartline. I'm Jeannie. I'm going to share my screen now. So, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to complete the training and how to, take notes and be successful at your time at the Heartline. So, first thing you do is click on volunteer here on the website. Then you can scroll down and click begin your training. And then you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, and here's the section on the Heartline. So, psychological training for Homeless Heartline. The first thing you should do is join the Google Classroom. So you click here. It will take you to a different page. I'm logged into the account, so it looks like this for me, but it'll be a different screen. All you have to do is click Add Class, and then you'll type in this code here, which is also on the website. It's just below the link. Once you get logged into the classroom, you'll have this classwork. You only have to complete modules that have these stars on them. So you only have to do those lessons. So like colorism and culture, you don't have to do that. You can, it's just optional. But for the first module, you have to do academic integrity, ethics and compliance policy, counseling agreement, HIPAA certification, and referrals. And then the basics, you need to complete this. It should be, oh, actually, I don't think you need to do that. I'm sorry. Um, yeah. So then you have to do the mindfulness. So all of these are things you have to do. These are like coping skills that will help teach the homeless people on the phone. So when people call in, you can talk to them about this stuff. For example, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 skills, you'll watch a video on it, and then you'll read about the skill and take a little quiz. And you have to complete at least a fourth of the modules before you begin training. So like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, or 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can smell, 2 things you can hear, and 1 thing you can taste, or something like that. And a quarter of this would be probably the first 2 modules. And then once you're done with the first, like the module 1 and module 2, I guess module 3, because you're not going to do module 2, then you can start taking calls. We just want you guys to have some understanding of counseling skills and what counseling is before you get started. But you have to complete all of this stuff within a few weeks of starting, or else you'll be taken off the schedule. It's super important to get all of this done. Um, you have all these coping skills, motivational interviewing and ORs. This is important. I recommend doing this first before you do the other modules. I would do like the very first thing, administration, and then I would come down to module 7 and do motivational interviewing. Um, and then these are super important too. Like honestly, it's kind of backwards. Like these should be the first things, but this we made this for a different business, so it was ordered differently. They don't, you guys are special and you get to start working a little bit before the training is over. But super important to learn about this stuff. Super important to learn about the coping skills. And that's what the Google Classroom is for. It takes most people like, 5 or 6 hours to get that done. It shouldn't be too long, and you'll learn a lot about mental health and how to help unhoused people. And then once you do that, you can sign up for a shift. So you can write your name somewhere. And it's really important to come to all of these. Like uh, if you sign up for like Mondays, you need to come to all of the shifts. And if you can't, you have to let the other people on your team know. We're just started the hotline and making this video, so we're gonna have Leah and Nathan, who also run the business, sign up for the other 2 shifts, which they'll do soon. But you guys should fill in put your name somewhere, and if it runs out of like spaces, if too many people are signed up, you're welcome to add an extra box and sign up for the shift as well. And then the resource site here. So like let's say someone is struggling on and wants to know like about how to get health insurance. You can scroll down here to health insurance and you can see Healthy San Francisco. Tell them to call this number or go to 101 Grove Street, room 116. Fill out the one-page application, list homeless under address, get your HSF card the same day, covers primary care, labs, meds. Use that card at any HSF participating clinic or hospital. So it can be pretty helpful to use this site. Like maybe someone needs diabetes care or drug rehabs, mental health facilities, more health and drug assistance. There's tons of resources here. So that's the resource site. And then notes. I'm going to show you how to take notes for the calls. You go here. This is just an example. This isn't a real patient, but um, they're not patients. This isn't a real caller, but the first thing you do is you write the day, like the date. Yeah, I wrote Friday. It's supposed to be June 21. Date June 21st, 2025. We want the full date in there. June 21st, 2025. It's super important to do that because we want to track how many calls we get. Their name, if they don't want to provide their name, they could give you an alias, or you could just write unknown, and then maybe you could write like some like identifying things like tone of voice or whatnot. We want this column so that way people know. Like when you talk to somebody on the phone, you want to come to call notes and look at the previous calls. Like let's say you get a caller and this is like a frequent flyer, like they call us all the time. We would want to look back at the notes and see like their triggers or like tips that for interacting with them and what their social and health situation is so we can better assist them. Talk about their reason for calling. Like this example person was feeling sad because their friend stole their medical supplies. They want to learn about how to get diabetes medication. They're afraid of more supplies being stolen. Social and health, this person has poor diabetes management, no friends, and other homeless people are bullying them. They cannot get access to medication, wants to connect with old friend, but doesn't have their contact info. And from things like this, you can actually extrapolate for this part right here under suicidal, homicidal, or gravely disabled. For example, you could infer that they want to get in contact with a friend and they're trying to access medical supplies. They are likely not suicidal. Of course, you have to ask them, and I recommend like phrasing it like this. Sometimes when people are in tough situations like this, they might be thinking about suicide. Are you thinking about suicide today? And they respond, no. Are you thinking about suicide today? I always recommend using that phrasing whenever you ask somebody if they're suicidal because it's non it's very empathetic. You're trying to like empathize with their situation and you're not like accusing them and you're it just comes off better. I worked at the suicide hotline, the national one. So I have a lot of experience using different phrases to talk about suicidality, and that's the best. Um, then over here, triggers or tips for interacting with the caller. So a trigger for this person is talking about politics. We found like this person responds well to distress tolerance and coping skills. And try using minimal encouragers and validation. Those were the tips and triggers. Then over here, referrals for the caller. Um, we uh, we gave the referral to this place, the diabetes place. Um, and then safety plan included calling back if they needed to talk or dial 911 if they have an emergency. John also agreed to use opposite action and guided meditation should he feel overwhelmed. We always want to make a safety plan. Like every single call, you have to make one. Like mention you can call 911 if you need support. Just being told that can help them remember to do that if they're in a bad situation. And then always, coming up with coping skills like, hey, like if you're really stressed, you can try these different coping skills. That's a big service that we're providing, teaching them how to cope with everything that's going on. And then just write your name at the end. So that is it for the notes. Should you have more questions, you can reach out to Leah or Nathan. They'll give you your contact information when you join. let's go back to the website. So once you complete all of that, you can start taking calls. I recommend doing all of that quickly as possible. Like you can start taking calls after you finish 1/4 of the training, but we really want you to take more, do all of the modules very quickly. Furthermore, a little bit about the Heartline. We're going to be giving out our number to people who, like homeless people who call, we're giving out our number to homeless people that we interact with on the streets, and we're also going to be offering callbacks. So sometimes you might have to actually reach out and call to get logged in. And then let me show you how to log into the Google Voice phone. So you come here, business phone numbers and systems. You click sign in, and then someone will give you the password and username. Hit continue. Um, 1 second. Should be sign in. Skip this. There we go. And then we need to log into the Valliant Foundation. I was in the wrong one. There we are. So here is the Google Voice phone. You're going to log into this. Basically, you just go to Google Voice, like you type in Google Voice in the search bar. Then you click on Google Voice here and you'll click sign in. And I'm already logged into it, but you should be like you should log out of your like profile here and hit add another account. And you'll type in the Valliant Foundation email. Here's the Valliant Foundation at gmail.com account. And then the password is hydroxyzine, so HYDROXYZINE.1. Then you hit next. And then you're logged in here. And sometimes it might make you do a two-factor authentication. You can just reach out to me or somebody else on the executive team, and they'll do the two-factor authentication for you. And I highly recommend downloading the Google app on your phone so that way you can do the two-factor authentication yourself. So here you'll receive the outgoing calls. It'll go straight to your cell phone. You have to do this on your phone, not your computer. And you will be able to send out a new message. So you can type in someone's number. And then you can, just send a message down here. So, hi, this is the Homeless Heartline. We wanted to follow up after your last outreach mission. You have time for a phone call to check in. And you can just send a message like that. And that's it for logging into the Google Voice phone. You should have the password that was just given to you. Make sure to write that down somewhere. And that is pretty much it for the training. You need to log into the phone when you start taking calls. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to me or one of the supervisors or directly the Valliant Foundation at gmail.com email. And you're also welcome to do research. There's other businesses at Valliant Foundation. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.